This show features adults using adult language. Falcon!
Alright guys, welcome back to Geekquinox on the Two Hillbillies Play channel. I am Gieto, and as I always will be, I'm joined with my best buddy Hillbilly.
Don Bronson.
And we've got a returning guest with us, been here doing some other podcasts with us. We got Brandon, aka Black Moses.
Yo, what up?
And we have a new little special helper. Special being the key word.
Special.
And we got Mitchell with us today, aka Revezza.
What's up?
All right. So, in the last video, we finished discussing the DC movie slate and everything. And before we get on to what we got planned for the day, I play a little stupid game on my phone, and had some people commenting and stuff on things, and I told them that we would talk about the new Antman trailer that just dropped. So, kind of want to hit that just for a few seconds, and then we'll move on to the whatever.
I like how you said you play a little stupid game on your phone.
Yeah, it's absolutely stupid. He said it's Candy Crush for dudes. That's what he said. So. But Ant-Man trailer just dropped. We've done a lot of discussing on Ant-Man before in another podcast, so everybody just watched it before we started this. And I wanted a little time to kind of think about what I personally thought about it. From the trailer, it doesn't really give you too much. It shows, Michael Douglas, who is playing Hank Pym, coming to Paul Rudd, who is Scott Lang, who is the new Ant-Man, basically. And, seems like he's just convincing him to become the new hero or whatever. And without a lot to go on, the one thing that I can say I like about it, I think the way they're going to do the effects and stuff, seeing him ride the ant and things like that, the special effects on it at least look like they're done really good.
I'm not sold entirely on the flying ant.
The flying ant?
Yeah, the flying ant. I'm like,
It's kind of iconic though in the comics and stuff.
I'm kind of like Hank Pym. Like, are we set on the name? Could it be
change the name?
Just a real quick side note. Talk about Inception. You got Ant-Man riding an ant. And I'm like, whoa, you're blowing my mind. You guys.
So, Revezza wasn't here when we did the original Ant-Man podcast. We all kind of gave our thoughts and stuff on what's your take on the trailer, and what do you just think about the movie in general?
Well, I'm excited for the movie, like I am for most any Marvel movie that's coming out. I'm not quite sold on the casting. Like I've told you guys, I don't like Paul Rudd for the role. I think he's kind of baseline. Most of his roles have been more comedy. And kind of look at him, I see that, and even like his very first line in the trailer was him kind of making like a little joke, and every line thereafter.
Yeah.
And then when I think of Ant-Man, I think of like a serious scientist whose creations will cause as much good as evil, with Ultron and everything else. And so I don't really see the comedic side to it, but you got to kind of pander to everybody, I guess.
Well, the connection part of this that's a little different though is when you're talking about Ant-Man being the scientist and all that. That's Hank Pym. That's the Michael Douglas character.
True.
This is Paul Rudd's playing Scott Lang, who is a completely different Ant-Man. And from what I can remember from the comics, like I said, we talked to the other ones, but I think he shows him going to jail and getting out of prison and all that. I mean, I think he has like a sick daughter, some kind of sick child, and he is stealing things or doing whatever to pay for something or do something to that effect. He's not necessarily a bad guy, but he's got to do bad things. It's one of those you got to do what you got to do things, I suppose. So it's something to keep in consideration. Is it's not the Ant-Man necessarily. But I do
Which
see
kind of
where
steals
you're...
a little glory from the original Ant-Man.
Yes, yeah.
I absolutely would have preferred that initial Hank Pym movie, but
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that too. So, like I said, there's not a ton. This trailer didn't really show much that I don't think that you can get anything from the story on it. I mean,
as far as the casting goes, like I don't know much about Ant-Man, but as far as the casting goes, like the character or the guy that they got for Ant-Man, he's been in help me out.
are you talking about Paul Rudd?
Yeah.
Oh God, he's in anything Judd Apatow makes.
much.
40-year-old virgin.
Yeah. So he's a really he's got a comedic
Yeah.
role in movies, but like when you look at his face in the trailer, you can tell that it seems like he has a larger range than just.
Well, this will be interesting to see him in that new kind of
a
role
lot,
thing.
yeah,
but,
a lot of actors, they have like look at
a lot of them don't like getting typecast too. Like some of them like to do something different. They don't always want to be known as the funny guy or whatever. But he can still bring that and maybe be serious.
Yeah,
But yeah, Marvel tends to make their movies comedic.
That's true too.
So,
Marvel does have a lot of comedy and levity and stuff. I mean, they can tell a serious story and still, have some happy moments, I guess, to it. So the way that Marvel does their things, I mean, he might mesh well with the way they, go about making their movies and stuff. So
I mean, I think he's a pretty good actor. I wouldn't knock him on his acting.
I absolutely like him as an actor. And while I say that I really didn't know if Paul Rudd is going to be the best fit for the role, Marvel kind of has a way of taking like either B-list actors or new actors and combining them with more famous guys, and everything just seems to kind of flow and mesh. I don't.
Well, let's look at the character. It's like you guys that read the comics, like what, like not this isn't Hank Pym. This is
Scott Lang.
I mean, what kind of character is he?
Well, like I
Is
said,
he a
I
less
don't,
serious character in the comics?
honestly, I don't really know. Like I said, I don't know much about him. It's just I kind of have a generalization of his background, and I could be wrong on that. That's just what I sort of remember. Most of all my knowledge is connected to Hank Pym, the original one. So, and that's kind of an interesting thing is. Looking at it, a lot of hardcore comic book fans or stuff, they kind of agree with us. Like, yeah, I'd rather see Hank Pym. Why are they doing this, et cetera, et cetera. But
well, I mean, obviously, Hank Pym must be the more interesting of the Ant-Man characters. If that's
absolutely, he's most well known for sure. Yeah. But I also try to look at it like what they did with Guardians. Guardians was a no-known, virtually. I mean, you had to be a comic book fan and a pretty serious comic fan to know much about Guardians at all. So nobody for the amount of money that movie made.
Anybody that's seen that movie is a Guardians of the Galaxy fan.
Exactly. And I think maybe they're doing something similar with Ant-Man. They're gonna say, hey, you don't know this one that well, but here you go, and let's see what happens. So, I mean, I've got plenty of faith that Marvel can make it work, but like you said, there's still questions too, but. I don't doubt it as I doubt some other movies, though. And like I said, with the trailer, though, my personal opinion on the trailer is it's nice, but I want more.
The trailer really doesn't do justice. Like you see him riding the ant.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay.
Which I am glad they include that because. It gives you an idea of maybe what the graphics will look like and stuff because we'll touch on this.
It's fucking 2015. If they ain't got this shit figured out by now.
Well, people can still blow graphics up. Like, personally, like
I guess.
Green Lantern, a lot of people like those graphics. I think they're crap.
What?
Yes. So...
How many objects do you see in the world that is made out of green jelly?
Well, yeah.
Not many.
Well, it probably wouldn't look too appeasing in real life. So I mean, they can screw up special effects and stuff, but for that part, it looks okay. From the background that I think I know about Scott Lang, seeing him come out of the prison thing and having Douglas talk to him and all that, it seems like it seems like that's kind of right, I guess. But they don't expand into the story so much. They don't show you the bad guy or anything. They show him flying around on an ant. So, I mean, they need...
it's funny. It looks like an origin story, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you look at... Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah. Which supposedly Marvel will stop come Doctor Strange. When
This
Doctor
is supposed
Strange
to come
starts,
out after Age of Ultron, correct?
correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this looks like an origin story, which with Josh, what's his name?
No. Kevin Feige said
yeah.
that they would no longer do those, but he said that starting with Doctor Strange when they start Phase 3,
which is after Ant-Man.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
Ant-Man I believe is the last part of Phase 2. Doctor Strange will be the first part of Phase 3.
Oh, they have it. They have it in phases.
Yeah, like all the original Iron Mans and stuff. All that was part of Phase 1.
And then Phase 4, take over the world.
Yeah, well, everything that we've talked about in these other movies, that's all part of Phase 3, pretty much, with the exception of Ultron and Ant-Man. So all these new movies, the Inhumans, the other two Avengers movies, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, all that stuff is considered basically one cohesive thing where they all should tie together and mention each other, I guess, in certain points or some way.
I mean, as far as the knowledge on Hank Pym and Scott Lang, like, what are their main differences as far as characters go?
Well,
I mean, obviously,
one's a brilliant scientist,
right? They're originators,
yeah, and the other is just everyday Joe, really, as far as I know. I mean, I think in the story he stole Hank Pym's suit, kept everything for himself to rob and get the money and stuff to, take care of his kid,
right? And
Hank called him or whatever, and instead of like, you're going to jail, like, I guess he saw something good with him, helped him out, and became the new Ant-Man.
So you're talking about like two dynamically different.
Oh
characters.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. And see, another thing is too, I know the bad guy in the movie is Yellow Jacket, which is another. Hank Pym has many nicknames. There's Ant-Man, Giant Man, Yellow Jacket, and so. Pretty much, it seems like just anybody in the world can get their hands on this Ant-Man suit and just do whatever they want. So
it's Ant-Man getting Ant-Man to fight Ant-Man.
Exactly, that's exactly what it is. It's Ant-Man having a new Ant-Man fight another Ant-Man.
Ant-Man must use Internet Explorer or something.
So that part of me makes me kind of doubt the story a little bit because it's like. I guess they want to do that to show, like, if you're going to have a little tiny dude fight a really big guy, maybe it's easier if you just make them both tiny and fight each other. I don't know. So that's why I would like to see more of the trailer.
It's like, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids all over.
But also, this is a movie that's slated to come out in 2016?
No, it comes out this year, I believe.
Oh, does it come out?
Yeah.
I thought it was May of 2016.
I thought the trailer
My year
said
could be wrong
2015.
then.
I'm pretty sure
You got it on. I think it's 2015.
Let me look here.
Well, the point I was making was that usually they'll drop 2 or 3 trailers. They'll drop like a teaser trailer.
No,
and then
it comes out July 17th of this year.
I'm sure they'll drop more trailers. They usually have 1 or 2 or 3. So
well, they call it a teaser, so and that's really what you get out of a teaser.
I mean, if you look at it, you got that. They've got that trailer made. They've got a lot of the work done.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'm sure they're done with it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's all done, even reshoots and everything. So
just giving you a look at the suit and then like where they're going to go with the graphics and everything, the CGI and whatnot. With
right. Okay.
Well, I got 3 quick things real quick. One about Scott Lang. I just have a general rule. I never trust anybody I meet named Scott. Ever. And so the Marvel actually kind of is encouraging me because Scott is a thief. And so thanks for encouraging my bad habits there, Marvel.
Your bad habits.
That's one.
You got everybody think we're harboring a criminal.
No, 2, I noticed, I never saw Ant-Man grow giant in the trailer.
That's a good point too. That's a very good point.
I was like stoking to see like this dude like the size of a building going Godzilla.
Really? Well, he's been known as what Giant
Man, Goliath. Yeah.
Well, they're really riding this Ant-Man thing. I mean, he rides an ant.
Well, this is where it started. I mean, in the original, it's all he did was go small or whatever. But
and so the third thing, if this is an origin story, it can't be an origin story unless it's Hank Pym. To me.
Well, I mean, I guess it's not Hank Pym's origin.
Well, I mean, it's the origin.
I'm interested to see.
Ant-Man,
I'm interested to see.
Hank Pym's going to be in Ultron, right?
Well, no, he's not. No. But he's connected to Ultron technically, and that's what I want to see is will will Ultron, the Avengers
Like-
movie, will it set up Ant-Man? They usually always do set up the next movie.
set it up.
And the history that those characters have, maybe that will explain why they went the route they did with having a different Ant-Man as being the focal point.
So would it be pretty fucked up if, like, you watch the Ant-Man movie and it's like it's like in the movie everybody's even fucking forgotten about Ultron, like, oh, he didn't even exist and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's like like they just overlook everything. Because, like, to me, Ultron coming up and if Ant-Man, the original Ant-Man, had something to do with Ultron, you would think that would have something to do with the movie.
And I do believe that it will, and I think they're playing it really close to the vest, trying to keep any real truth rumors from coming out, I just, the way Marvel does things, I think they're going to connect it in a way, if not a way for the general audience to understand, I think that knowledge will be there for the comic book fan. The one that knows the story and understands it, I think there will be something subtle in there somewhere that pays homage to why they're connected and everything. So, but any other thoughts on it, really?
Well, despite my attitudes towards Scott, I still want to see the movie. Shoot.
Okay.
If it's got Marvel on it, I'm gonna be there.
That's true. Until they fail me, I'm there.
I'm like a dumb girlfriend. If they fail me, I'll come back.
Okay, so moving on, we've talked about the Marvel movies, we've talked about the DC movies. So on this one, we are going to go through the independent movies. Well, now when I say independent, I don't mean, like an independent comic book. Like, these are still generally Marvel and DC movies. It's just they're owned by a different company. Fox owns the X-Men and Fantastic Four, and Sony has rights to the Spider-Man comics, things like that. So, the first one that we'll talk about, being the most obvious one, would be X-Men: Age of Apocalypse. X-Men: Days of Future Past came out not too long ago. Was freaking great.
So I was,
Guess
wondering when they were
that
going
X-Men.
What?
That's so
Wow.
I'm kind of saving myself. I know it's so great, and I don't know. I'm just waiting for it to come out free on HBO. Hurry up! It's like they know.
That's a way to support the movies right there.
It's like they know I want to watch it.
So I was wondering when they were going to make a movie about Apocalypse, because that motherfucker is in everything in that fucking animated show. Like, once you see Apocalypse,
He's always behind
he's
the
always
scenes.
there.
Yeah.
And he's always fucking up shit. Even in the video game, the fucking
honestly,
X-Men video game.
Yeah.
one of the most
main
BA
antagonist,
characters that there ever was.
As far as like villains in comic books, I mean, if you were gonna make a top list, I don't know, maybe not top 10, maybe so to some, but he's definitely in the top 25 without a doubt of like just badass villains. And if you do just Marvel villains alone, then yeah, he's probably top 10. But if you look at it, where everybody likes the Avengers and what they're going to do with Justice League, putting all these people together and stuff, X-Men has pretty much always been that way. It is always a team up. There's always a bunch of people, so you need a really big villain to fight multiple people and then make it look like they're not shit.
Yeah.
So
And Apocalypse is a good go-to guy.
Yeah.
He's just so stupid powerful.
Yeah, he's the first. The first mutant is really his backstory.
Like those that know. How about a little backstory on Apocalypse?
His real name is Insabur Nur or some shit like that.
Insabur.
And he was a nerd in school and he got picked on.
Yeah.
His fucking name.
Ansabur, whatever. Butchering it. I know it though, but
pronounce it correctly.
well, I ain't got a Wikipedia.
Easier said than done.
Yeah. Anyway, he's like ancient Egyptian, a long time ago. Like in the comics, they kind of, he created the pyramids and had everybody working for him and
I didn't believe that.
And it's very Darwinism. It's survival of the fittest. If you're going to live in my world, you better be able to hack it, because I will kill anything that can't. And that's really all it is everything else is a downgrade to him, and he just will slaughter everything. and that's it. It's survival of the fittest. Either you live or you die. I don't care. And he's got a thing about... He's got his 4 horsemen, which that's what was the teaser at the end of the X-Men movie.
Well, I mean,
Sorry, Brandon.
Apocalypse has to have
I know
4
it's
horsemen.
going to reference.
Yeah, okay,
I know
yeah,
it's going
so...
Is it war,
War,
death?
pestilence, death,
Death.
yes,
Famine.
famine, yeah. So that'll be interesting. I'm really curious to see who the horsemen are, who they play,
Yeah.
because in the comic books, some of the most famous horsemen were the heroes that he like captured and turned into it, like Wolverine, Angel,
Angel.
turned into Archangel.
You know, it's funny. There's a show on right now
Gambit.
called Sleepy Hollow,
Yeah.
and it goes through like all the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Oh, that's
what
kinda,
it's about.
Yeah. Okay.
And like the headless horseman is death, and then they go through the other. So I wonder what goes into like the person that made that. I wonder if they like, X-Men's coming out and the fucking apocalypse and the 4 horsemen.
Well, different, in general
Or if it's playing off
mythologies
of
and
that.
stuff, the way things are stolen and tossed around and shared and stuff, it's different cultures have different meanings for different ones, and that's their version of it. But that is kind of neat. That makes me want to see that show. I think my mom and sister watch it, so I might have to ask them what it's like. But
Yeah, my wife watches it. I haven't sat down and watched it, but
Decent.
it's decent.
I've watched like the first 10 episodes.
Okay.
yeah, I watched a little bit. Like I seen them. I seen the headless horseman and
Yeah.
some of the shit they did. It was kind of cool, but
Well, so in this one, projections for the movie. We know Apocalypse is the bad guy. Shit's gonna get real. But here is the thing: with all the time travel and loopy stuff, it was very cool. They brought the old X-Men with the new X-Men, put them all in one movie and stuff. But moving forward, you can't still have both. I mean, I guess you could, but it's going to be very complicated. So I think they're going back to like first class style. It's going to be Michael Fassbender as Magneto, all that stuff. What mutants do you want to see brought in to this movie? Who would be the X-Men?
that haven't been in the X-Men, or
Well, that are in the new ones that haven't been like in the new ones, like Cyclops, Storm, Jean, like all these are original X-Men. But when you go back to first class, they're not there.
in there.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Beast has to be in there.
Beast, yeah,
Beast, I want to see Beast.
yeah, I
big
definitely
time.
like Beast.
They did very. Nicholas Holt, I believe, is his name.
Yeah.
The guy that plays him, he's very, very
That dude
good.
did good, man.
Very good
That
actor.
dude did really good.
Uh,
I don't know about Havoc.
Here's something I want to
okay.
see. This is what I've heard. I don't know if this is confirmed or not. I haven't checked enough sources to be sure.
So is Wolverine gonna be in it?
That's
see Wolverine.
That's another thing too. Is everybody's talking about Hugh Jackman getting older and stuff, right? But you know what? Sorry, Hugh's still cut. Hugh still looks like
he's
Hugh,
still-
so
yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with him still being in it.
Well, I mean, even if he's old, there's makeup, and then even more powerful than that, you have CGI.
CGI.
I mean,
To
Yeah.
me, it's just like Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. There can be no other Iron Man.
Yeah.
And to me, there can be.
they've
no other
already got
Wolverine.
so many things on so many movies with
Oh, yeah.
Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
He is in virtually every.
It's like if you
X-Men
had any other
piece,
person,
everything
they've ruined
except
it.
for
they've ruined it for
Uh,
themselves if Hugh Jackman
yeah.
dies.
I
Yeah.
would be
In real life.
so
'Cause-
like critical of anybody else who played Wolverine. I'd be like, well, Hugh
and I
Jackman
think
would've
that's a
done
problem, as a lot of people would be too.
that. Yeah.
So I'm sure he'll be returning. I don't know what kind of a role he'll have. I don't know if they'll put him back in as a regular or if he'll just kind of cameo. But one of the big news, I'm kind of skipping ahead here, but one of the things is Channing Tatum is playing Gambit. Magic Mike! And Gambit has his own movie coming out, and they haven't put a release date on it. But I think that
I'm gonna go.
that they rushed doing that because I think you're going to get to see him in this movie. I think they're going to put him in there.
The best thing Channing Tatum ever did was getting boned in the ass by Danny McBride, and this is it. That's it.
All right. Let's not get off on a tangent.
All right, yeah,
on
that's
Gambit
fine.
Yeah, 'cause we're gonna come back to it,
Because
yeah.
when we do talk about Gambit, internet fucking beware. Because me and Mitchell have lots of things to say about it.
Okay, all right. So I think he is going to be in this movie. I think with the confirmation of him getting his own movie and everything, and as far as anything goes, like Gambit is by far and away my favorite comic book character.
Is he gonna have a penis or a vagina in this movie?
I thought you said we were.
Okay, all right.
I know he carries a big stick.
Yeah, Remy, man, he's just such an amazing part. And, he had a really intricate role with the X-Men, too. They kept him
the
around.
animated series?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, oh, my God.
Well, and
with his little thing with Rogue. I'd like to see
so good.
I'd like to see Rogue in the new one, too, but I
Yeah.
think she's still kind of young for it. But.
Well, I think they need I'd be glad to see a reworked version. I never cared for Anna Paquin's version.
No.
And that's more of, they didn't do her justice. Not so
I think
much
she
as her.
played the role well.
Yeah,
but it was the right.
She played for what
She
they
didn't
gave
have the
her.
hair either.
Well, they gave it to
She
her.
got some big ass hair.
The
and-
big, oh yeah,
the big like.
She got some big ass other stuff too that wasn't in that movie.
And also,
well, so anyway, but Gambit is by far and away my favorite character. And in X-Men Origins, God, did they fuck him up so bad. It made me sick. Like, I just wanted to stop watching the movie right now.
Taylor
Kitsch,
or
whatever. He douchebag.
He looked like he was just a kid. I see Gambit as an older. He might not be an old guy, but he's an older looking guy. He's got that bone structure in his face.
Yeah.
what you're also talking about, X-Men Origins, this was back in, the 60s?
Yeah.
Late 50s, early 60s?
To me, it looks like he can physically play the part, but it's just the way he was portrayed in that movie, and he was just scripted. It was like, oh man, did a 5-year-old write that?
It shows you the power of a character, though, when out of all the people, he had one small role, and it was garbage. And he gets his own movie. Yeah, out of all the X-Men, he's getting his own.
That has something to do with
That's a fan base right there.
No, that has something to do with what's his name, Channing Tatum.
Oh, the plans for a movie were
Didn't Channing Tatum put up some money?
Absolutely. Well, he
to help get it going.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Because he really wanted to play Gambit, right?
Yeah,
because he's a Gambit fan.
He's from the South. He says, this was always a favorite of his growing up, that he would do everything to honor the role. He reads the comics and stuff. So, I mean, he at least seems like he wants to do it right. I mean,
he should have to pay for that whole movie, because I don't think nobody supports Channing Tatum as an actor. Just
no, not that
okay.
role.
Well, let's go on up. Pick me some other mutants that you want to see show up.
All right, I do want to see Gambit, but I want to see him. I want to see the right fucking Gambit.
Well, I don't think you're gonna get that if he's in there.
Well,
if he's in there, it's Channing Tatum.
I want Iceman in there. I want me some Bobby Drake, big time. I don't know about Jubilee.
I'd like to see Nightcrawler make a return.
Nightcrawler,
underrated
all day.
Yes, I would like to see him. That's another one. I don't really like the way that they did him, but this is all about some new stuff. So
I'd like to see some Colossus.
I was about to say Colossus, man. I always loved Colossus.
They underplay his role so much in the other ones.
They did.
Colossus and Wolverine. The
fastball
Colossus,
special.
Yeah. You gotta have that when you're fighting the fucking giant.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. Colossus, man, they could have done so much more with his character and didn't. I mean, I was glad to see him in there, but it was not enough. Not enough at all.
Yeah.
And you can't have an X-Men movie without Cyclops or Jean Grey. But if they butcher them as bad as they did in the second and third previous X-Men movie, I'd rather have them out.
Well, would it be Jean Grey or would it be the Phoenix?
Well, it'd be Jean.
It'd be Jean Grey.
Or Marvel Girl, maybe, depending on how they want to call it. They probably legally cannot call her Marvel Girl because Fox is, Marvel's not going to let that shit happen, I don't believe. So it'll be Jean, but no, Phoenix comes way later on, and
she's her own movie.
Another disgusting thing that happens.
Now I'm a noob. Of course, everybody knows I'm a noob. So, do the bad guys helping also, like the notorious bad guys that X-Men help? Are they that X-Men fight? Are they gonna
have to fight with the pilots?
Yeah.
I actually believe
Magneto.
Because technically Magneto is a bad guy.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like I gotta help because shit's not gonna go good. Because the thing is it's not like Apocalypse is gonna say, hey, you guys are bad guys like me, so you could be on my team. No, he's like, I'll fucking kill all of you. I don't care. I'm the best. So
do you think Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch would be in it, or
that's an interesting question.
I was kind of thinking that too.
That's a very interesting question. Quicksilver, maybe. Everybody really, really liked his role in the last movie. Scarlet Witch wasn't in there, which was surprising. I thought she would be, but so this could be a good point to bring her in. But I think
Scarlet Witch.
I think they're going to try to
Apocalypse,
recast.
You don't exist.
Well, I think they're going to go and redo the original X-Men thing. I think you're going to see Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm.
How did I not mention Storm?
But these are going to be new young characters. They're not going to be.
Come
so
on,
it's not going to be. It's not going to be
there,
like their original cast of X-Men.
No.
I still want Halle Berry. Give me some Storm, baby. I don't care if you got a few wrinkles on your face, baby. You fine. Please. Do it for daddy. My name ain't Black Moses for no reason.
He
set you free, baby.
He watched Monster Ball and puts it on repeat.
Holy shit.
Actually, I haven't even. I've seen that once.
Okay.
It's
still on repeat.
It's still on the same policy.
Yeah.
It's
still
paused
on the same spot. Yeah.
So are there any villains that are working with Apocalypse, or is he just
through the comics? It's always different. There's different stories and stuff. The Age of Apocalypse series and the comics, such a good read. If you want a really good action-packed story, I would suggest reading that. I actually have a few of the comics if I can find them. So it's really, really good. But every story, different things always happen. So I mean, it's not so much of a volunteer thing as he makes them and just keeps them.
Yeah.
But it's not like he's like, y'all are my buddies because you work with me. He still looks at everybody like they're petty and
it's kind of like the
shit.
Thanos of the X-Men.
Yeah.
It's he's just so big and so powerful that he could easily 1v1 any of the X-Men just instantly.
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, just
now. I do have a noob question, because I do remember that in one of the X-Men, I forget which one it was, they were fighting. You didn't know that they were in a training simulation, but they were in a training simulation.
Yeah.
Wolverine was like, I don't really give a fuck, training simulation, but you didn't know it at the time. And everybody's trying to fight this big giant thing. Was that Apocalypse that they were fighting in the simulation?
That was
it was
Sentinel.
Was it
a movie or was it a cartoon?
No, it was the movie.
Okay, that's
a Sentinel.
Oh,
but
yeah,
didn't the Sentinels? Don't the Sentinels have something to do with Apocalypse?
No, that was all Trask. That was all what they did in this last one.
Yeah.
That was all him. I don't think.
Because I largely remember. I largely remember,
in
the animated series, the Sentinels around with Apocalypse.
Well, the Sentinels were controlled by the government, and they were the government's arm to patrol the mutants.
Yeah.
And I think Apocalypse is just whatever.
I think Apocalypse is DNA is so far back they probably don't even recognize him as a mutant anyway or something too. So.
Oh, Apocalypse is a fucking mutant?
Yeah, he's the first. That's what his name means. That Onsiber, her whatever crap is the first one.
Oh, okay.
It's the original mutant. The mutant. He's the first one ever.
How could I forget? Cable.
Cable will be interesting.
Cable and Bishop, are they?
Bishop.
Were they in Days
Bishop.
of Future Past?
That Bishop is in
Bishop
Days of Future Past. Yeah,
well, I hope
but
they carry on his role.
I don't think they will though. They didn't even really let him talk or do much because the guy playing him speaks no English.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So
dude, have they ever heard of Eldris Iba? Oh, what's his freaking name?
Eldris Iba.
Idris Iba.
Which one's that?
Oh man. Oh dude, what? He was in the Thor movies.
The dude that plays freaking Heimdall?
Heimdall. Yeah.
Oh
Heimdall.
yeah, he's great. He's great.
That dude, yeah.
He's supposed to be getting a bigger role in some of the Thor movies. I heard.
They're
so
thinking he might be James Bond.
I think Michael Jai
James
White
Bond.
should be fucking. What's his name?
Who? Michael Jai
White.
White.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Spawn.
Yeah, Spawn.
Yeah, he should be somebody.
Maybe,
He should be somebody important.
Maybe a Blade remake or something.
Wesley Snipes.
you gotta have Wesley Snipes for Blade.
This is like, yeah, but Wesley's old. Wesley got gray.
Man,
Wesley Snipes has gray hair now. He's done with the hero thing. He might be a retired Blade.
Plus, he got to pay them taxes.
Yeah.
He got to, the tax evasion and shit.
Dang, man, I want to quote the Dave Chappelle show so bad.
No.
I better not.
All right, so, it's another thing. This comes out later on. There's not really too much known about it. Plenty of speculation, but when it comes to Apocalypse, it's pretty. I don't really think there needs much explanation. I'm the badass. I'm gonna stomp you all out. Good luck. Yeah, that's really it.
It's kind of like Ultron went. It's like just picture like a WWE match. Ultron just went and tagged in Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Don't wreck some fools, dude.
So after the reboots of the X-Men and stuff, because God, did they start getting so bad. With the new reboot and everything with First Class, they are getting it right, and so far they're 2 for 2 with the new ones. So if they stick to that, I think they'll do well. I mean, I think it'll be fine. So, any other thoughts on X-Men?
I was just thinking about how much of a noob I am because I haven't seen Days of Future Past.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible, dude. It's pretty bad. I own it. I will give you a copy.
Well, technically, I said I would see anything that had Marvel on it. I didn't say squat jack about anything that has Fox on it. So I'm true to my word.
Well, speaking of Fox, one other property they have.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Deadpool.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah. Which, if they fuck that up, dude, I'm going to fucking go to...
Well, they already fucked it up pretty royally once, so...
See, when we were talking earlier about characters you want to see come back, instantly, probably my favorite X-Men of all time is Deadpool.
Yeah,
it's such an amazing, iconic character, but I thought we were going to talk about the movie coming out, so...
Yeah.
I was saving them a little comments for it.
Yeah.
I mean, Deadpool, like, if they don't do him right, I'm going to fucking rage quit. I'm going to fucking rage quit Fox.
After seeing
if they sew his mouth shut again...
no.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, if they
So
do,
bad.
like, X-Men Origins...
No, they won't. And I think Ryan...
Like, the
I
Merc
think
with
in
the
the
mouth...
interview
like,
he said...
how fucking ironic is it the Merc with the mouth has his fucking mouth
I think
shut.
that was supposed to be like a funny inside joke, but it was just very
it was
shitty.
wasted.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It just made people mad.
Yeah.
Pissed.
Yeah.
People pissed.
Now, Ryan Reynolds put in an interview that I think that he is not... Like, they're not even connected to that Deadpool. Like, it's pretty much like, pretend that Deadpool never existed. Like,
yeah, they're trying to hit the reboot button on him.
Yeah. Which is a good thing.
Seeing that trailer for Deadpool,
Oh, yes. That thing is absolutely amazing.
the CGI trailer?
The one where he jumps in the SUV and they fight the scene.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where he draws out the picture. He's over the top, and it's like, you almost wonder, though, can a general audience go and see that and, like, understand that and be okay with it? Like, that, like, do they go, that's too kooky for me? Like, people like us, I'll watch that shit all day long, and I will laugh, and I will laugh, and laugh, and laugh, and enjoy every minute of it. But you gotta kind of keep this in mind, like...
Yeah, are they going to do something to kind of explain why he is the way he is?
Oh, I'm sure they will.
For the general audience?
I'm sure they will, but that my only concern with it is I hope that it doesn't suffer for... like too many mainstream people not going and seeing it because maybe if they do it right, it's going to be over the top like that. It's going to be if they do it right, it's going to be rated R.
Yeah.
It better be rated R. Like it's got to be violent, bloody,
Well,
gory.
the clip would have been rated R.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. I hope that's where they go with it. If they try to force this into some PG-13,
I have to say something about the people that he was fucking going after. How badass is the guy that fucking stepped off his motorcycle in traffic? And just start shooting at this fucking SUV that's tumbling towards his ass. Like, who the fuck are these people coming after him?
Yeah, they apparently got some training, that's for sure.
God damn, these motherfuckers are badass.
So, I am stoked for this movie. Other than that leaked test footage, and that's all that was just something to release to the fans to try to get the company to see how much people wanted to see it and get this movie made. And it worked.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think they had a release date of February 12th, 2016.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the movie's happening. It's just now, will they do it right? Will they stick to what made it successful? That footage is what made this happen.
If they stick to the spirit of that footage,
yeah.
I don't think they're going to go wrong.
I don't think so either.
As long as there's not too much downtime, this fucking movie needs to be all action.
This movie will not be... It will not make Guardians of the Galaxy numbers. It will not make that kind of money because you're not going to pull in everybody that's... You're not going to pull in the same crowd.
It depends. It depends on how they market it.
It's still, rated R is not going to pull in everybody. It's just not. No rated R movie makes money like that.
It depends on how they market it.
It will not. I would bet. I mean, it just can't. It won't. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to fail, and I'm not saying it's going to make a lot of money. It will make a buttload, but it won't come to those kind of numbers. And as long as they understand that and accept that, if you don't base if you don't base pass fail, kind of on those numbers, if you realize what you have and what your kind of market is and what you're playing to, then they can keep going with it. I mean, I think it'll do fine. If they do it,
what would be the bare minimum they could make it fucking PG-13?
Ain't no.
No,
this is not happening.
It's like making a Guardian of the Galaxy movie that doesn't have anything to do with space.
I mean, they could do like look at the. I said look at a bunch of times.
I saw it.
Look at.
All right, so the only thing they can do to make it PG-13 is again sew his mouth shut, and they've already done that, and we see how we saw the reception it got.
Yeah,
all right, so look at some of the Disney movies that are they're making these movies for young audiences.
Yeah.
But how many of those
there's
can
nothing
you watch?
rated G anymore.
But how many of those can you watch? And there's a subliminal joke in there that you're like, I know what they're really fucking talking
dude,
about.
you can go back to the 80s and see penises drew out.
Yeah.
And
Exactly. So you can see a bunch of those movies that are designed for children.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, that movie designed for children might have a subliminal message. It doesn't have Snow White running through the forest. Fuck you, nigga! I'm gonna cap your face out. It doesn't go psycho with it. It's and that's what Deadpool is. He's gonna cuss and
cut
spit
this dude's
and
arm off and beat
he's gonna chop his arm off and then beat him in the face with it. And blows up. There's going to be bloody parts flying everywhere. And
take a taste.
Well, I mean, if they don't do it like Kill Bill blood style.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
Kill Bill, that's pretty...
That's probably right up that alley there.
How epic
that would be interesting.
How epic would it be
if oh, yeah.
How epic would it be if Tarantino was a director?
Be pretty interesting.
So how well did Kill Bill do?
Honestly... Cult status wise, it's amazing. I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
I don't know about their box office.
I don't know the box office numbers. I mean, I don't believe it was a failure in any way, shape, or form. So,
well, it's one of those things. I think if you look at the Kill Bill thing, you can either make 300 people say this is the most amazing movie of its time, it's absolutely genius, or you can kind of try and pander to everybody and have 1,000 people say that movie was okay.
Yeah. I mean, if there was a superhero movie coming right out the gate that was rated R, I would say, it doesn't really have a good chance with that community.
Well,
but you have all this build up, and everybody's watching these movies. The Guardians of the Galaxy and all these superhero movies.
That is true.
So when Deadpool comes out, it's gonna have a lot of work done for it.
That part I agree with, but so that's why I think it's gonna make a lot more than it ever would have anticipated making. But that's what I'm saying is it's still not gonna make their kind of level money.
There's some sick, twisted people out there.
Oh, absolutely, it's going to make money. But the thing is people will.
I'm one of them.
There's plenty of people that'll take their kids to go see Guardians.
Yeah,
they will not take their kid to see Deadpool.
There's
people that will watch trailers. There's people that research movies. It's amazing that the statistics that people have done to see how people choose what movies they're going to go see and stuff. And it's amazing what a lot of people base it on. So,
well, most white trash doesn't have internet, so a lot of the statistics are lost on people that will probably go see the movie with their kids.
That's true too.
But it's also kind of hard to say what kind of numbers it's going to put up because they've never made a movie like that.
Yeah.
They've never taken a Marvel comic book character and slapped a rated R label on it and really portrayed it like it was in the comic books. They've always kind of
What was Punisher
That's what I was
rated?
just finna ask. What was Punisher's rating?
Actually, Punisher Warzone was R, I believe. Now, I don't know about the one with Thomas Jane.
I bet Warzone. I think Warzone.
Warzone was R, I'm pretty sure. But Warzone failed.
I didn't
Warzone didn't fail because of R rating, though. Warzone failed because it was a shit-ass movie.
And, the big reason
the
that
other
I keep
Punishers,
saying...
they weren't PG, were they?
No, they weren't PG.
I guess, the first one would have been.
The biggest difference... I can't remember. Yeah. But, the biggest difference... Punisher and Deadpool, they're pretty similar. It's like, hey,
it's not hero, it's anti-hero.
Yeah.
So
the biggest difference, and I said this in the podcast before, man, it's comedy, man. That's the secret weapon.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
That's the secret sauce in
it's
that
gonna
secret
be,
soup.
Yeah, and there's going to be no
people come
limit to fucking comedy in that fucking movie.
Ryan Reynolds, absolutely. I mean, everybody's pretty much on board with that.
Well, really, it ain't got nothing to do with Ryan Reynolds. It's got to do with the script. Who's writing the jokes?
Well,
who's coming up with the fucking...
Ryan Reynolds is very good at ad-libbing.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about
that
typecasting.
stuff in...
talking about typecasting.
That
Ryan
scene
Reynolds
in the
is-
elevator in X-Men Origins, hilarious. He ad-libbed that and came up with it on the spot.
Oh, if they let him do that.
Yeah.
And I think he killed the role.
it really
he killed that role up until the end.
Yeah.
I can definitely
He
see
has
him
5 minutes of screen time, and that's like the best part of that whole movie.
I mean,
those 5 minutes is like...
I mean,
perfect.
like some directors, they are really a stickler for what was written.
Yeah.
And a lot is like a lot of other directors are like, yeah, just do whatever and we'll see. And if it's funny, we'll put it in or
I agree.
whatever. It really depends on the director. I mean, it really doesn't depend on just one point. It's a lot. There's a lot that depends on this movie.
I'm pretty sure though that they know that they're working with Ryan Reynolds. They know what he brings to the table and how he acts and what he does.
But you have to go back to the test footage. You can really tell the direction they want to go.
Well, the thing is, I don't think the person that did the test footage is making the movie though. I just think that was something that
has no ties to the director?
I don't think so. I don't know. I could be wrong. We'd have to look it up later and see. But I don't.
Somebody that knows more than us, put it in the comments.
Well, that's going to be a lot of people commenting. A lot of people know more than we do.
Well, this would be the first video where we have lots of comments.
Oh, our fans are cool. We're good.
to the future fans that
Yeah. See,
this
was
already. But I think talking about Ryan Reynolds, I think Ryan Reynolds is going to pull people to Deadpool because if anyone has any knowledge about Deadpool, you're like Ryan. That's like a perfect fit.
Yeah.
And talking about actors being
good.
typecasting, every role, every movie, just about Ryan Reynolds is
it really
he
depends.
offers
when they do an actual trailer and start posting it in these other movies,
Yeah.
like whatever Fox movies, are coming out soon. They're gonna be posting this trailer to get amped up for it.
That's why I want to see a legit
trailer.
trailer. That'll tell us a lot. Once we get farther down the road and we see an actual trailer, that'll help out a lot.
You don't know if the test footage trailer has anything to do with the movie.
No.
The test footage trailer is actually several years old. They made that right after the Origins movie came out, and that's what they're talking about. They're surprised that it was kept secret for so long, and that they're thinking because it dropped right after Comic-Con this year, and so they think that
who dropped it though?
They're pretty sure it was the studio themselves leaked it out there to see what kind of reaction they would get for it.
Yeah. It was simply just to see a reaction to decide what they wanted to do with the character.
So the question, okay, well.
See, man, Ryan Reynolds could play the Pope, and he would still be mouthing off, dude.
That's true.
He's so perfect for Deadpool.
Perfect for Deadpool, terrible for Green Lantern. Just saying. So, but other than that, I think we've discussed the Deadpool. So that's the one property that I can say without a doubt right now, at least, without more being known on it, that Marvel doesn't have it, DC doesn't have it, Fox is doing it. But it's the one thing that we're like, I don't care. I don't care. I want to see it.
If you think about it, technically there has to be a Deadpool movie because you can't kill it. If there's a script and you're like, we don't want to do this, you can't kill the script because you can't kill Deadpool. Man.
Well, that's the funny thing is, Deadpool being a fourth wall breaking character and stuff, Deadpool could be like, "You're trying to cut my movie and go kill the director right in the middle of it or something." Like, it's so over the top and just ridiculous.
Tell them what the fuck they could do.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing is
they could do a cut from the scene where like Deadpool walks into like sits next to the director and like, "Hey man, look, this fucking scene's not going well."
Exactly. Yeah.
So guess what? You die.
Yeah. Like that's Deadpool. And for me, I can watch that and I will roar. It will be great.
Yeah.
But
where in other movies it'd be like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, exactly.
In Deadpool movie,
it makes total sense. But not everybody's gonna know that, and that's why it's not gonna make as much money. But you know what? I'm okay because I will put that DVD in when it comes out, and I will watch it on repeat because it'd be great.
They could solve that if they put out in some of their next trailers, like him actually breaking the fourth wall,
going into another trailer,
so people have that expectation of
that. Would be a very good. Somebody write Fox right now and tell them to do that.
Yeah, you know, like depending on how they market it, they can.
Oh yeah,
you can do a lot of things with marketing where you can prepare everybody.
It's going to cost a lot. It's going to cost a lot. So
well, it's Fox. They got money.
But rated R in general, though, like. It's just a flat statistic. They don't make the money everything else does because of that rating.
Dude,
I'm not saying that we won't go see it. I'm just saying it won't because your mom. There's still moms that take their kids to the. I mean, not where we go. You go out to the boardwalk. There's 5,000 kids around. I ain't seen a parent yet, so I don't know what's going on. But there's still parents that take their kids and stuff. There's no way they're buying them a ticket to this movie, you know, and things like that. So, and there's still theaters that do card people and not.
You gotta look at it this way. There's plenty of people, of course, our age, because you know, we grew up around the comic.
What's my
area.
age again? What's my age again?
Jeez.
Well, to kind of throw in perspective for being a rated R movie, the screenwriters from Zombieland are doing Deadpool.
Oh man, so good.
Tim Wark and Rhett Reese.
Okay.
The two screenwriters who did Zombieland are writing the script for Deadpool.
Yeah.
Knowledge bombs.
So that's kind of gives you, you know, the comedy side where just like over the top things can happen, and which would be amazing for Deadpool.
I'm okay with that. Zombieland is so good.
You know what would be an epic trailer? Like if they
fucking Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
You know how they release these trailers at Comic-Con and people always record them even though they say don't record them.
Right.
If there's
800 cell phone lights started off, we're not recording.
Like during the actual trailer, if Deadpool comes out, he's like, "All right, kids, you know you're not supposed to record this on your phone, but get your phone out and record this because I want people to see it."
Yeah.
Dude, if he said that during the trailer, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's like you said, marketing. That's the way to go with him, and I think it'll go a long way because you can set up so much of story.
If they did it right
without even
with
having
their marketing, they could basically set up an origin story without having to have an origin story in the movie.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, the way technology is now, you got YouTube, you got all these platforms that you could set it up.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
And a lot of the shit you can do.
You got fans that would be so happy to help you do shit.
Oh yeah, they would share the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
And even when it comes to Deadpool, Deadpool is one of the few characters that I don't even care if they ever do an origin story on him.
Yeah.
Just like throw him out there was something that he's supposed to be doing, and let it be, you know, classic Deadpool, and that's.
Well, as far as origins go, like I'm just mainly thinking about. I mean, if you would have talked to me a couple years ago, I'd been like, "Who the fuck is Deadpool?"
Yeah.
You know. So for the people like that, you know, if you see like a commercial here and there, and Deadpool shows up, well, who is this guy? And it kind of like it shows him, you know. He's maybe talking about himself. Hey, I'm Deadpool, and this is what I do, and then like and basically showing him breaking that
the fourth wall.
The fourth wall. So if you do that, if you market it like that, then people are gonna be like, hey, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think it would go a long way to helping that out.
And you know, anybody that's in our scene, the geek scene, plays video games, shit.
Right.
You know who the name Deadpool.
Oh, absolutely. Which is quite amazing because he's not an old character. Like, this isn't some character from the 1920s when they first started doing comic books and everything. This is like a early 90s, late 80s at the most. Pretty sure he didn't even come around until like 1994.
I think it was like 95, 96.
Yeah. So this is, for comic book world, a relatively brand new face, and to get that amount of popularity that fast and to be known like you are is saying something.
I mean, and there's plenty of YouTubers out there too that are building up the Deadpool name. Like, there's a YouTube channel called Bat in the Sun where they do,
that thing is
Superpower. It's
great.
called Superpower Beatdown.
Yeah.
And they do Superpower Beatdown. They had Deadpool versus Batman. you know?
Yeah, that was so good. So good though.
And it just shows you what kind of person Deadpool is. And that was written by a fan.
Yeah.
That's the kind of Deadpool that you should see, you know.
He's like, dude, you can't kill me. Would you believe this guy? He's trying to kill me.
What's funny, they're killing off Deadpool in the comic books, and it's a character who can't die. This goes back to, and we're fixing to hit it on this next topic, but Marvel still owns, they don't own their rights to all the movies property necessarily, but they still own the characters in the comics. And they're killing off the ones that other people have. Wolverine has died in the comics. Fox owns X-Men. Deadpool is dying in the comics. Fox owns Deadpool. The Fantastic Four.
That's fucking hilarious. I didn't even think about that.
The Fantastic Four. They're not even making Fantastic Four comics anymore. Fox owns the property. They're
killing off the characters because they have rights to them.
Yeah.
So dude.
It's a way of
Marvel
promoting Fox in any way, shape, or form.
Marvel, you are my fucking hero. I mean, you got these. Yeah, you know what? Fucking Fox better start fucking drawing comics.
Yeah.
They want anything to do.
Well, they can't. That's the thing. They own the characters. Marvel owns the characters.
The likeness of the character.
Yeah.
Okay, so Marvel owns the characters.
They own the
Fox
comics.
owns
A
the
movie rights.
Movie rights.
Yeah.
So if they kill off, well, you know what? That could backfire. Because if they kill the characters off, then Fox would be like, well, fuck it. We're going to make whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, but basically
And
what
not-
they're...
They
not
can,
tied to
but people
anything.
won't go watch
People
it.
still
Well, no,
That's
not only
true.
that is that these writers at Marvel were basically giving them these plots for them to make movies off of.
Yeah.
And so now that, Marvel's not seeing a royalty on it anymore.
Now they're going to have to make
they're
their
going
own
to say, you know
plots.
what, yeah, if you guys want to use these characters and refuse to play ball with us, we're not going to give you any more movie plots to do.
It's also a way of not supporting and keeping as minimal amount of word of mouth out there on these projects as they can, because they want all their stuff back now. And
So Wolverine's going to die.
Yeah.
Who
He's
else?
already did.
He's already dead.
Deadpool. They don't even make Fantastic Four comics anymore.
Really?
If I was a Marvel
They just
writer,
stopped. They didn't even. Did they kill him or did they just? Stop?
I think they just stopped.
I would be embarrassed.
So there was
to
like
write Fantastic Four after that second movie.
So they were supposed to.
Yeah.
So they were supposed to continue it, and all of a sudden, like people are going to get a Fantastic Four comic, and it doesn't even exist.
As far as I know, yeah.
They're like,
It's like the-
Galactus ate all the writers. They're no more.
So it's basically like the mid-season finale of fucking Walking Dead. You're like, where the fuck is Walking Dead? Oh, it didn't come out till February. But in this case, it doesn't come out at all.
Right. And speaking of that'll bring us on our next topic. And we go from like one of the highlights and good things I'm expecting to one of the ones I can give a shit less about seeing is the Fantastic Four reboot.
Who?
Reboot?
Yeah. The Fantastic Four.
I mean,
Who's
they
rebooting
reboot?
Fox. They're doing it all over again.
Who did the first one?
Fox. They've had the rights for the movie rights anyway for a while now.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me that they already did a origin type thing with Fantastic Four. Now they're gonna do it again.
Yeah,
Yes.
new characters, just like they did with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Fucking terrible.
I'm actually
terrible-
excited about
a
it.
little bit excited.
I am,
about
because
this one.
Fantastic Four...
God, I want nothing to do with this.
They were the Fantastic Four, they're just such amazing group
Yeah,
of people.
but
Yeah.
And I
Alright,
think
so-
they really didn't do a good job of portraying all of their potential and everything.
No, they did
So
not
here's
at
my
all.
problem with reboots, is like okay, so Spider-Man 3 bombed. Okay, with Tobey Maguire. Fucking, I hated it. So
Understatement.
You and everybody.
then they rebooted Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yep.
It was too soon. Like
Oh.
the new of the Spider-Man movies wasn't even off yet, and then they rebooted it, and I was like, it's just too they're too close together. I mean, you can reboot a Superman movie. It's been how many fucking years since they did a Superman movie?
Well, actually, if you look at the Superman Returns thing, it wasn't that long.
Yeah.
Because that Brandon
The
Ruth
Superman
thing.
returned in
I'm
2006.
talking about
But that was so bad nobody's seen it, so I guess there's a lot more leeway. So
Well, I guess so. Yeah.
yeah.
But like like the Superman 1, 2, and even 3. I mean,
The thing is, though, you can't wait around forever because what happens when they
Lose
stop
interest.
making comic book movies? Now they're not relevant
You
anymore.
can't,
Now
but
you're going
every
to
time
reboot Spider-Man. Nobody gives a rat's ass
so
anymore.
what if they fail at this Fantastic Four?
I think they are.
Are they gonna fucking reboot again? I mean,
Well,
how many
it's-
times?
well,
have
It's
you
not
reboot?
like you can get any worse.
Oh, yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
They only
That is
have
true.
up to go.
That is true. It can't get any worse.
It doesn't make me excited to go see a Fantastic Four movie when they're rebooting it. Like I
One-
want to see
it's
something
a-
else.
The reason
It's-
Marvel wants
I wanna see
Fantastic
something
Four to
else that
fail,
Fantastic
why they
Four's
stopped
doing.
making the comics, the reason they want this to fail is if it fails, this company loses millions of dollars on making it. They spend a fortune getting it out there, and it bombs and doesn't make shit. That they're hoping Fox says, okay, we fucked it up once, we fucked it up twice, now we fucked it up a third time. Maybe 3 strikes, we're out here. Take your crap back. We're just losing money on it.
Well, what,
So
I think it's
Marvel, that's
I
a
will
way
sell
for
you
Marvel.
Fantastic Four for 1 hamburger.
Yeah, that's
Since we no longer have jobs and can't
yeah.
afford
So
them.
that's the way Marvel can get their stuff back.
So I mean, it's a real reboot. Like they're going back and they're going to explain how everybody got their powers.
Yeah, except it's going to be different. It's not the same story. They've changed things. In this one,
How different is it?
oh, well, then the other one, they went into space and got hit by cosmic radiation, which was the
That's
original
what's
story.
Yeah.
Now they travel to another dimension somehow by accident and come back, and they're all changed.
Which has nothing to do with the comics.
Well, it's more based along the Ultimate version, I believe, of the comics.
See,
if I'm
my
thinking of the
problem
right one.
is if they were like what they should have done. What they should have done is instead of rebooting the characters, like who gives a fuck how they got their powers? They have the powers. Everybody knows they have fucking powers. All right. They should have fucking went down a little further down the line of wherever they were in the comics and introduced a new villain and have them fight them and just have.
Well, that's
new,
the thing too. It's going to
new
be the
cast
same
of characters.
Doctor
and all
Doom.
that
No,
shit.
that's what I want from this reboot. I want 100,000 Doom bots just piling on the thing, and I want him just picking up bulldozers and smashing them. And
Well, they could have done that without doing a reboot, though.
they could have, but for 2
The thing
movies.
is they need to retell this story. They need to pretend like the other ones never existed. They want you to fall in love with new characters all over again. They want you to understand where these characters came from and why you should feel for them. And really, it's hard to do that without telling an origin story. And that is the only way to. It just seems like you just made another movie and then
Not
recasted
if the-
it.
not
If
if
you
the
do an
origin
origin,
story-
it's pretending that nothing ever came before.
Not if the origin story is how they got their powers. I mean, it doesn't. There's no fruit there. It's like you either get you get your powers through radiation, you go to another dimension, get your powers. However the fuck you get your powers, you can still do the same fucking thing as the other person. If you had 2 sets of Fantastic Four sitting next to each other, one got their powers by cosmic radiation, one went through a fucking a different dimension. They still have the same fucking powers.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I don't understand is like, why are you rebooting it if you already? Everybody knows that seen the other Fantastic.
Well, not
Four,
everybody.
they have
And you
these powers.
talk about waiting. It's been a while since
It's been a
Fantastic Four came out. It ain't
Oh,
like
yeah,
Spider-Man.
2000
This-
5 or 6, 4.
That's over 10 years.
Yeah, it's been 10 years, dude.
That's over a decade.
But how?
So, I mean, that's a shitload longer. I mean, what kind of time frame do you want them to wait for?
It's still
It's,
it's still fresh in my head.
That's because we remember how bad it was. That's why you want a reboot to go to forget what happened. And
How ironic is it that the 2 movies hit rock bottom with a character made of rock? I find that funny. But yeah, I mean, it has so much potential.
that's the thing.
Jeez,
Here's my only good thing that I want to say about this. Is it... Well... I'm gonna say it can't get any worse, but that's probably not. That's a scary fact. Is that's not necessarily true.
It can be
but,
as bad.
yeah, I think.
I like
be
the cast
as
that they had for the Fantastic Four. I like the actors that they had.
Yeah, but you can't bring Chris Evans back now.
Oh
He-
yeah.
he's
No,
Cap.
No,
he's
yeah,
Captain
that's
America.
not-
yeah.
As long as Jessica Alba is in this movie,
that ain't
I'll
happening.
be
So
all right. But hey, Halle Berry, if you ain't playing Storm, if you ain't playing this Storm and X-Men, come
Would
play
you leave Halle Berry alone?
Dude, Halle Berry.
This is borderline harassment.
Hey, baby.
So
Some say harassment, some say
the way the story's going, the way
Harassment is perseverance.
yeah, that's one way to look at it. But Victor Von Doom is not even Victor Von Doom anymore. They changed his name, and he's not like.
And a new one?
Yeah, he's not even. He's a freaking nerdy IT kid or some crap that I don't know goes into Matrix and goes cuckoo. I don't know what they're doing with it, but
Oh, for real?
so
Oh,
See,
damn,
it's
I didn't know
reboot
that.
equals stupid.
I agree. I want nothing to do with the reboot.
Oh, wow.
I think
Okay.
I'm excited to see that it could be better than the other ones, but the way that they're doing it, to me, I don't like it. I wish they'd give it back to Marvel and let Marvel do something.
Dude, you're talking about Doctor Doom, a dude smart enough to figure out how to screw the whole universe over. It's like, hey, I'll steal Odin's power.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Come get some, son.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go cuckoo in a computer program.
I'm just saying it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure he goes through the Dimension 2 or something, but it's just,
I
I don't know. He's not a ruler of Latveria, some big, elegant ruler. You know, he's...
That's what I want. I
nerd.
want Victor Von Doom sitting in Latveria, just sending out armies of Doom bots.
Yeah, see,
trying
and that's...
to-
Yeah, man.
In this movie, he's an IT kid. That's all I really know about it.
An IT kid?
Yeah, he's like, well, they're all kids. These are young Fantastic Four. They are all kids.
Like, I want him to
How
be
young are we
like,
talking?
7.
Shit, they're maybe old enough to drink a beer. I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Fuck, man.
I mean,
all right. You know what? Fuck the Fantastic Four.
yeah. So
What's the next topic?
I don't really care for it. I wish they'd give it back to Marvel. I don't have a lot of faith in this project, but like I said, the one thing I say is surely it can't get any worse. But then again, yeah, exactly. But it can.
bad,
It's the
but
thing.
If Victor Von Doom is a fucking IT kid,
Yeah.
then yes, it can.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean,
I
he
don't
is
know.
a scientist. He is super smart.
Like the worst thing they could do with a character is have Superman and fucking Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor be fucking like toddlers fighting each other in a pen.
Well, here's an
with
interesting
fucking
thing
rattles.
that they might do. Marvel, all their characters exist in the same world. Iron Man can go meet Hulk and they can drink a beer together. Superman can go punch Batman in the face. Batman can kick Superman in the nuts. They all exist together. Will Fantastic Four and X-Men exist in the same universe? Fox owns
both
their rights.
Fox?
Yeah. So will they make Fantastic Four join up with the X-Men for some shit? Will they have random X-Men pop up in a Fantastic Four movie?
But part of what I was thinking
I don't
was,
think they're that smart.
that's
Probably
exactly
not.
what I was thinking, because if you follow Marvel's example, they're not doing origin stories. They're introducing characters
But-
in a small cameo in like the Avengers, and oh hey, now you're good to go for another movie. Fox has an opportunity. It's like, oh hey, you could put Deadpool in the Apocalypse movie and then not have to necessarily worry about an origin story.
Yeah.
But you're talking about Fox. Are they smart enough to do this?
Yeah.
Are they smart enough to have like enough cool stuff to go between the Fantastic Four and the X-Men?
And you also have to ask, do you want to do an origin story for 2 or 3 different characters in one movie?
Yeah.
Because we're already talking about Apocalypse origins, you know, with this new X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to try and introduce 3, 4 new characters at one time?
Yeah.
Nah, it gets laborsome. Like,
Well, you would think so, but that they did it for Guardians. I mean,
'Cause
they
what
introduced all of those characters, but
But they didn't give a whole lot of backstory on
That's
it.
true,
yeah,
too.
Like, they didn't do
There's
anything.
no Rocket Raccoon backstory.
well, yeah, there
He's
is.
just a
They just say
character.
he's created. I mean, they
Yeah, but that's
discuss-
like how
and
how
then they
long
show
of a
the-
piece?
That's what
Well,
I'm
that's the
saying.
thing.
All they would
So
need.
they show that they can
That's
do it
all
though.
that they would.
But
that's
like
the
they
thing.
like
5
it's just basically like they question like, you know, Rocket Raccoon is like, well, I was created or whatever, and that's it. It's like,
When it show and they do more to touch on it. I mean, like when they show
Do
him
the
get
fucking
out the
Groot.
shower and they show the thing on him and stuff.
yeah, but Groot is a fucking tree that follows around.
yeah,
Dude,
I mean,
That's
that-
all I know about him.
but
they-
that, but
they
that,
do what
but
they
that's
do.
what
you
he's
don't have
saying.
to have a backstory for these characters.
But you
know
don't. That's
that
what we're
it's a
saying. You don't
character-
have to have a backstory for
like
these other ones.
Like you know, you know that Groot is a character in this mystic.
Well, hang on,
world.
we're
It's the
talking-
universe. You're talking about.
There's a difference between doing a backstory on a new character and doing an origins
Yeah.
on a character.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because you start talking about an origins, that's a
what was he like when he was a kid? And what was
Well, I
he
mean, not only that, but like going through and showing how he
even
got
with
his powers.
Wolverine, they went so far back as like he was like showing him and Sabretooth
through every war.
Yeah.
That was. That's one thing I will say for that movie. That's one of the best intros to a movie, actually. I really enjoyed that intro.
No, it's cool. It's cool because Wolverine is a dynamic character. Like he's fucking lived so fucking long.
Oh,
He's had his hand in a lot of different shit.
Yeah, which is so and I just the way they pieced it all together, each war.
He's got a lot
really
going
good.
for him.
Yeah. So it's.
I mean, if you would ask me who the fuck X-Man was. Like X-Man, like,
I'd have
been like,
there is an X-Man called
Wolverine.
X-Man, so
I've been like Wolverine is X-Man,
right?
He's
He's
the
the man,
X-Man.
yeah. But the thing with that, there's so many. The X-Men universe is littered with shit. It could have its own run and do whatever it wants to, and that's the thing. You don't have to have origins for all those characters.
No, they're mutants.
So small little backstories like for Rocket.
There might be like a little flashback of when they were a kid, when they discovered their power.
Well, I mean, honestly,
So that's why I say they can do it like Guardians for that part. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter because there's so damn many of them. It's like, okay, what does this guy do? He always shoots something out of his mouth. Cool, I'm there, right?
Yeah, and I guess for an X-Man, they all get their powers the same way. They're born with them.
Yeah.
That's it.
Stan Lee flat out said, he said, I was just lazy. He's like, I ain't gotta get this guy bit. They don't have to run into a radioactive bomb. Like, he's fucking born that way.
Brilliant, though. It's
oh
brilliant.
yeah, absolutely.
Because you get more bang for your buck.
Yeah.
I mean, you can come up with shit out of nowhere. Like, this guy fucking has laser beam eyes. And like, well, how did he get it? He was born that way.
Well, it reaches people on a more personal level too, though. Like the dynamics of a character like that, like it deals with like race issues and things like that and stuff. You can take it real politically, like people are like, oh, you're mutants, you're evil.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you look at Hank. What's his name?
Hank McCoy.
Yeah, Hank
the
McCoy,
Beast.
yeah, Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he deals a lot with that. 'cause
Exactly.
He's in the political scene with it. So.
Yep. And being a character that was normal looking and probably could have been okay and gotten through a day, and now you're covered in fur, and everybody's like, freak, run! So, I mean, it appeals to so many different aspects. Yeah.
How many though, man?
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Robin.
You're the man. Damn.
You will never be forgotten.
No.
As long as we have a live on Broadway.
Yeah. I'm going to take a watch that tonight now.
yeah, dude, we gotta watch that.
Freaking amazing. So, all right. Damn, we're going to have a Ron Williams episode now, man.
I would say something. I'd probably get shot.
Obviously, the lawyers for HBO are going, fuck!
Yeah. Okay, so if we move on then, the next, all right, let's let y'all have your heyday. Let's talk about Gambit.
Do we have enough time for this?
Yeah, let's. How much? What we looking at?
Did you do this on purpose?
we can continue this one and then just do like a whole another hour and a half.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, I'm playing it this way.
Alright, so. Fuck the actor that is playing. Fuck him in his fucking fuck face.
Dude, I saw you watch Magic Mike last week, dude.
Yeah, you know what? I just knew.
I'm picking, dude. I'm picking.
I just recently found out that he played Magic Mike because when I did a search on, what's his stupid name?
Male strippers.
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum. When I did a search on Channing Tatum,
Male strippers.
John's looking up male strippers.
I was like, really? He played in that stupid movie, fucking Magic Mike?
He's a G.I. Joe too, though.
What? When?
You're American
was in
hero.
the first-
And the best part of G.I. Joe
When he
was
died.
when he died in the first 5 minutes.
So I have my cast, who I would cast as.
Oh yeah.
I have my cast for.
You're-
You go ahead. You talk about Channing Tatum and all his faggotry, and I'm gonna pull up my cast.
That's not a nice word.
The only thing I worry about Channing Tatum is in every movie, he kind of gets. They use him as like the pretty boy.
Oh yeah.
You know, they use his good looks and everything to try and I guess draw people into the theater.
How about this though? How about this? Before y'all bash him, I want to know something. Have you seen 21 and 22 Jump Street?
Yes.
Can you tell me that shit wasn't funny as hell?
It was funny, but it wasn't.
It was stupid funny.
It was slapstick humor.
Yes, yeah,
It wasn't.
I like slapstick though. It gets me.
I like
get it. I don't know.
intellect comedy, something more.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was funny, but it's not one of those movies that I would watch several times over and over and over. I watch it once and say, ha, and then I can watch it again and be like, meh.
Yeah.
All right, so my beef is not necessarily with Channing Tatum's being how he is as an actor.
You just see somebody else being it.
When I see Gambit, he has a particular bone structure and facial features that you cannot get with a little pudgy face like fucking Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum has
that is true. And,
face.
No homo, but for a guy who's like supposed to be as cut as him, he does have a little fat face. He's like half Hobbit or something, but
Half Hobbit.
But my main issue with Channing Tatum playing Gambit is I don't want a pretty boy playboy being my Gambit. I want a New Orleans backstreet rogue gambler.
Yeah.
And I scarred up,
and I
probably a little dirty, cowl pulled down. I don't see, or a big brimmed hat with a cowl pulled down and an ace of spades stuck in it.
Yeah.
I do not see that in Channing Tatum.
And I
really think that Channing Tatum will be better than what they did in the other one.
If they did this, if they went to the fucking True Blood fucking casting set and looked at Stephen Moyer, they would see that is fucking Gambit.
Stephen Moyer does not seem like some big time action star.
I don't give a fuck. They can make him. That motherfucker is a good actor too. I don't care. Look, you can.
I don't want to see him as Gambit.
You can take TV series actors, and they will do just as good as.
That's a matter.
It depends on how.
That's a matter of debate too, though.
You know who I want for Gambit? You guys ever watch Lost? Josh Holloway, the guy who played Sawyer.
Oh yeah,
he would be amazing.
Epic. I like Sawyer.
I hadn't seen it.
I haven't seen. I don't.
Oh,
even
in Lost, he was a Mississippi kind of redneck, but he just looks and acts the role of Gambit.
Well, I mean, and Steve Moyer already has the dialect now of someone that lives in southern Louisiana. For you, those of you that don't know what True Blood is, it's a vampire movie or vampire TV series set in Louisiana, and Stephen Moyer plays a vampire called Bill. And he is fucking terrific.
Gentleman Bill.
He is fucking terrific. He would be a damn good fucking. I guarantee it.
Personally, that's your choice.
I guarantee that he would be.
I don't feel that confident about that pick though.
Look at his cheeks, man.
We had this discussion.
The cheekbones, man. That's fucking Gambit.
Josh Holloway, I think that's pretty.
I like Josh Holloway for the role. And if it's not, if it had to be somebody from the True Blood, the guy who played Eric, he would even be better than I think than Don's pick over there.
Yeah.
Whatever. Fucking cuckoo.
He's got a thing. He wants to be Bill's servant, man. He's all about the Bill.
No, man. Look. I'm gonna find a picture, and you're gonna be like, yeah.
I've seen. No, you showed it to me before. We've had this discussion a lot of times.
I can see him being Gambit.
And if you had actually watched Lost and seen the character that he played,
for Channing Tatum's credit, though,
look at that. Look. Put the little fucking facial, the mask thing on. Yeah. That's fucking Gambit, dude.
It's pretty good.
I'm telling you.
And while it's
pretty good, actually.
I can see any of these guys playing it over Channing Tatum.
He does got a good.
What about Stephen Dorff?
I was just when I was looking at that picture, that is exactly what popped in my head. Was thinking of Stephen Dorff.
That's what I just saw. I was like,
that's amazing. See,
and that's Eric in True Blood. Yes, he looks too fucking animated. He looks like an animated character.
Well,
he looks like he just farted and no one else knows it, and that's not he's like, he did
a weird smile. Okay, so, but for Channing Tatum's defense, though, he came out and he, like I said earlier,
his fucking lawyer.
Well, I'd lose. I'm losing the fight for him, but the amount of he seems genuinely stoked and excited as shit about playing this character and wanting nothing more than to do it right and give it, the way it's supposed to be done. Well, now, saying
he needs to grow some cheekbones.
Trying to, him saying that he can do it and wants to do it doesn't mean that he will be able to pull it off. But it seems like he's putting in the time to research, and the fact of the matter is he's already signed on and it's a done deal anyway. So it ain't really, I mean, there's plenty of characters we like to, let's say, the same thing with Gal Gadot and things like that. We don't know. I mean, I don't know that I would say he's my first choice, but I at least like the effort he's putting forth.
He needs to lose some
I'll
weight
give
in
it
his
that.
face.
I
He
bet
needs
you-
to lose some weight in his face. He's fucking got. He's
I
got
bet,
donut face.
I bet
Do some
Giotto.
cheek kegels.
Yeah.
She kegels.
God. Oh, man.
Robin Williams. I will do kegels.
Yeah,
I will squeeze my ass. Good tonight. Let's go. Down
yeah.
No, but dude, no. But in all seriousness, I bet you $100 right now. Giotto's got a tattoo on his ass that said "Reserved for Channing's one." I'm big.
No, but
Reserved for Gambit's staff.
for my, let's put it this way, my love for Gambit,
Gambit, swipe your cards here.
yeah, like my love for the character Gambit and everything, like my firstborn son will be named Remy. I mean, if that tells you anything, like it's.
So you should be outraged. You should be more outraged than me and Mitchell here.
I'm gonna agree he's not what I would pick for it, but
The face alone, like nobody.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so when you cast
he
a
helps
character,
convince me.
look at the way that like the character is drawn. Like you can't have a actor. You
not
can't have an
every
actor that
looks
doesn't
like
look
their
like.
character, though.
You can't have an actor that doesn't look like the character.
Sure, you can. That happens all the time.
Dude, they remake stuff
Because
all the time.
people in the comics, this comic's just drawn randomly and stuff. You can't. There's no guarantee. That's like you would say. You're saying that you have to go in the street and just. Well, he's got a chin, so let's put him there. But that doesn't mean he's a good actor.
No. What I'm saying is, it's more beneficial to have an actor that can act and looks like the character instead of just getting. Well, let's get the best actor ever that was ever
You should.
created.
You should email.
Every part.
We should email the dude from True Blood and ask him like, did you at least attempt to try? Like, did you?
I've already, you know what?
Did you look to see if he like was
when
one of
the
the
thought
casting
coming in my
choices?
head, I was like, Stephen Moyer should, because I was watching True Blood one night.
Yeah.
And I was looking at him, and I was looking at his features and the way he was talking and and what he was doing at the time. I was like,
Wait, did you have to
This
like
motherfucker
true applause while you were
I was
watching?
like, this.
Look at those cheekbones.
I was like, this motherfucker should be Gambit.
Right.
So I looked it up. I said Stephen Moyer for Gambit,
Yeah.
and there are plenty of fucking forum posts of people talking about Stephen Moyer being a candidate for Gambit rather than Channing fucked him.
But that's what I'm saying. Do you know if he auditioned for the role?
No.
Oh, you don't know?
No,
Like,
I
no,
don't
he
think-
didn't, or you just
no,
don't know?
I don't think he did.
Oh, okay.
If we're going,
It's just the fans that seen Stephen Moyer
Yeah.
are like, yeah, he should be Gambit, and I'm with them.
if we're going by just straight looks, then I need to
He
get
is
breast
not-
implants and play Rogue
'cause
because
he's
I
not-
got long, beautiful red hair
'cause
and
he's
this
not-
magic, beautiful
You know,
face.
Stephen Moyer is not a bad actor. Like
No,
he
I'm
does his
not
part.
saying no. He's
Definitely-
not. Yeah.
He definitely plays a good part. He has a very good Southern accent, I think, and
I'm trying.
I think-
they just didn't go over.
What about the dude that plays Arrow?
the guy that plays Oliver Queen,
Yeah.
he doesn't look like Gambit either.
Yeah, but I mean, you put a trench coat on, you put the thing over
My
your
thing
head,
is-
give him some wig. I mean, anybody can be.
my thing is like you need somebody that looks like. So if you make a movie,
Shia LaBeouf.
if you make a movie, no.
You need to-
Look at Renee Zellweger. She don't look nothing like what the hell she used to. Look like a completely different human being.
Shia LaBeouf. If fucking,
You can always change people.
you know what? If Gambit was a fucking drunk, then yeah, we fucking cast Shia LaBeouf.
Okay, well, how about this?
He's-
Channing Tatum, you say he's got a fat face. Well, like you said, you can fix anything. Just CGI, you just sink him in a little bit, and there you go. He's done.
You are really on this channel.
No, I'm just. Why do you give so
You
much
watch
hate?
Magic Mike and jerk off to
For the record, I have not seen that. But me and Brandon were in the room with our wives while they were hooping and hollering watching it. So.
All right, you know what's cool? It's cool that Channing Tatum has an affinity for Gambit.
That
It's cool he
that
would-
goes a long way for me. It makes
it's
me
cool.
happy.
But you know what? Any actor that is worth acting gets into their character.
Yeah.
No matter, it doesn't matter what role.
Well, you want a good actor that does something like you need some Daniel Day-Lewis type shit.
I mean, even voice actors that put on a mocap suit and they're acting for these roles in these video games.
Yeah.
Like The Last of Us.
Oh yeah,
I watch the behind the scenes. Some guys get into their characters. They don't look anything like their character. They get into the role though. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
And and that does go a long way. So if he
Absolutely.
if he goes to that mile If he goes to that point with the character,
And that's the thing too. I don't know that he will. I am by no means am I saying I want him as Gambit.
yeah, I mean,
I'm just trying to not bury his ass.
I just think that Channing Tatum has one role to bring to the table, and it's kind of the same role he plays in everything.
Yeah.
And
So
it's the funny, pretty boy kind of.
so
I
love-
it's the girl guy. I don't.
But
I love
look at
Metal
how-
Gear Solid. All right, so let me give you an example. I love Metal Gear Solid. I love Solid Snake. I think he's the best fucking badass fucking character ever. Okay, but I don't have any money, so I can't be like, hey, I want a Metal Gear Solid movie, and I want to play I want to play Solid Snake because I love him so much, and I just think he's fucking badass. So if I had money, then I could probably make that movie like Channing Tatum.
But
does that mean that I should be Solid Snake? No, fucking does not.
But okay, here's your thing.
I
You're
don't-
talking about being typecast. Think of look at what Tom Cruise was typecast as when he was a young kid. He was the hot shot, smart ass kid, Top Gun, risky business, all that kind of stuff. And he's like an action star, Mission Impossible and everything. But then you get some role like Interview with the Vampire.
He was good for that.
I know what I'm saying. So people can do different things. You just got to see them do it first to believe it,
You're
As
talking
long
about
as the character's main attribute says fudge packer on it.
That's his superpower.
But when you're talking about Channing Tatum and Tom Cruise, you're talking about apples and oranges.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That motherfucker.
Absolutely.
Tom Cruise is he has an astounding range of what he can do.
You know what? He's
Really
also
does.
a psycho nut job.
Yeah, he is a Scientologist. If that tells you anything.
Hey, that's real, man.
Is real?
Don't go
Real
there.
talk. Real talk.
No, I mean it's real. Some people actually believe that stupid shit.
Yeah.
Okay, let me throw one more at you guys. What about Charlie Hunnam?
That's the different Sons of Anarchy, right?
Guy played Jax Teller in Sons of
Yeah.
Anarchy.
That would be interesting, actually.
How you spell it?
Hang on, Josh. Just got to look at him first.
Well, all right. How about this? We're running
Well, I
out
haven't
of
seen him
time.
act, so I got to see
Yeah,
something.
Sons of Anarchy is amazing, though. He was in Pacific Rim, too.
He was in Pacific. You see Pacific Rim?
Oh, what?
Yeah.
He was the main guy.
Oh, dude, yeah.
All right, so we're running out of time,
This
though.
guy?
Yep, that's him.
I'd have to see him act.
How about this? Is such a one of our first real big hot topic things. So, guys, get on here. You tell us what you think Channing Tatum, or give us an example of who you think would
Stephen
fit the
Moore.
role. See if you agree. If you like Bill from True Blood, or like I said, if there's somebody that you just personally like, let's. I'd like to see where this goes and see what everybody thinks on that. So
I think I'd rather see Morgan Freeman play Gambit than Channing Tatum, though.
all right, guys.
I would watch it.
Yeah.
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
I wasn't.
All right, this was Ghetto.
Don Bronson.
Black Moses.
And Ray Vizza.
All right, we'll see y'all later.
Finish him.